you guys. I am in New York. Is this straight? It doesn't look straight. Okay. That looks weird. Okay. Yes, I am in New York. I got here the day after. Ooh. Okay, I got here the day after graduation. I flew home. I stayed for a few hours, and then after that, I came here to New York. After that, I pretty much stayed here for a few hours. Went to go visit my boyfriend in Minnesota for a day. Came back here, and I've been here since then. That was on Thursday. On Friday, I had my base orientation, which was so clarifying. So I am like squared away. I feel like I have a very great understanding of the flow of a reserve flight attendant. So yay. Other than that, I've been hibernating. I have been sleeping. I've been catching up on all my sleep from not sleeping in training. And today I went into the city, and I'm from Florida, you guys. Let me tell you how I was in for a rude awakening when I went out in the clothes that I packed. It did not fly. So I pretty much have to throw out my wardrobe and just get a new one, because it's borderline June, pretty much. We can say that we're pretty close. We're halfway through May, and it's still like in the 40s. Like, it's a pretty weird thing to me. I'm not used to that, Florida girl, like I said. But yeah, okay, so that was it for the mini update. I know you guys mainly wanted to know about my Crashpad. So I'll go ahead and tell you the tips on what I was thinking of, what was important to me, and then I'll tell you a bit about my Crashpad. The main thing that was important to me was the location, and not as far as if it was, you know, close to my airport, which is LaGuardia. Of course, I want it to be a good distance, but I also want to make sure I'm in a good area. I am a female, and I do know how to defend myself, but it's just a whole new category when you're living in a state by yourself and you're a flight attendant, and people may see you in and out, you know, wearing your uniform, you know. Ooh, I just made myself go down. But yeah, so I was really concerned about being in a good neighborhood, and Janine Perez, she commented the Crew Gardens New York Facebook page, and that like helped me so much. I just kind of browsed through everything at first. Definitely look up where it's Q Gardens, but the Facebook page is Crew Gardens, space NY. Yeah, so I commented on that page just because I saw that, you know, it was a good area. I didn't see anything like too crazy about that area. So the location thing I had checked off. So I'm like, okay, we can go forth with this. The next thing that was important to me was the location, in a way that I would have access to buses, you know, taxis, shuttles, subway, everything. I needed to be in an area where it's easy for me to go in other places. I don't plan on getting a car here. I really don't even want to move here, to be honest. A Crashpad is probably as far as I'll go with moving, but commuter for life. So yeah, so I just needed to make sure, sorry, I like lost my train of thought. I needed to make sure I was, you know, in a good area with a lot of means of transportation. Now, going into details with the Crashpad itself, I needed to make sure that there were no hotbeds. For you guys that don't know the verbiage, hotbeds is when there's multiple people staying in the bed. You get your allotted days or times or whatever, and pretty much you just rip your sheets off, and the next person who is designated for that time or day or whatever gets to use that bed. I don't like that. So scratch that. Definitely had to be cold beds, which is, it's my bed. No one's going to be in it. If I'm not there, it's just going to be collecting dust. So cold beds was the first thing. The second thing was, it had to be clean and updated. And I know that's all dependent upon the tenant and the landlord, but that's kind of my thing too. Like, I needed to make sure I was living with clean people, and you know, it just didn't look like crazy. And it should, you guys would not believe the Crashpad pictures that are like out there. It's no, like, I was really terrified of going Crashpad hunting simply because it was just like, that's gross. I can't even see myself living there for 20 whatever days or umpteen days of the month. Just no. So the living conditions, it had to be like bearable. Of course, I wasn't thinking that I'd have all this big space and I'd have my own bed and all that stuff. I wasn't thinking that. I was being very realistic. So I just needed it to be clean. I needed it to be updated. The next thing, I needed to make sure everything was included with rent. Wi-Fi, laundry, cable, utilities, everything, because that's the last thing I need is paying rent and then separate bills. It's not my apartment. So no, I had to make sure everything was included. I also had to make sure I have adequate space. So if you move into a crash pad with like a gajillion bunk beds, you're not gonna have that much space, and that's a problem for me, especially for anybody living in New York. Actually, there's coats and everything that you have to have, and I'm not going to be lugging that around all the time. We're going into summer, so I'm not going to need that anytime soon, but for when I do need it, I need to make sure it's here. So I had to make sure there was space. And what else? I'm trying to think. It's like all at the top of my head. Yeah, I needed to make sure it was clean, in a good location. Oh, a lease. A lot of people think that's really odd that I was looking for that, but I was looking for somewhere that had at least a 5-month lease. Simply because when there's a lease, people tend to like shy away from that, and that's like perfect for me. Other people are okay with that simply because they know they're gonna stay, and I like that. I don't want to have like different roommates in and out. It takes me a while for me to trust someone, so if I keep getting new roommates, I'm gonna start buying locks for my suitcase and just weird stuff, because that's just how I am. I'm coming from that's just how I am. I don't know why. It's really weird. I have no idea, but that's how I am when it comes to my stuff, especially since I anticipate that I'm going to be flying a lot this summer. I don't need to, in the back of my mind, be worrying about if my stuff is going missing. So yes, a lease I really like needed to be in place. So I think those were just like the main things I was looking for, and I just wanted to make sure. Oh, a dry cleaners. Yes, I have one. Just to throw that in there. I had to make sure a dry cleaners was close by, because I want to get my uniforms dry cleaned. I don't even want to risk messing them up. So, okay. As far as looking for a crash pad, I want to apologize right off the back, because you guys have been asking me about it, and I've been referring you to Crashpad 411, and I shouldn't have, because I did not know that you have to pay in order to reach out to a landlord for the listing, and I'm so sorry about that. I had no idea until I actually started using it. For a while I was just browsing, so I didn't know when I was interested in one. I clicked on it and tried to reach out to the landlord, and I couldn't because you had to have a membership. So I am super sorry about that. That is my fault. The top thing that I recognize now is social media. As much as the world thinks that it's just so horrible, it is your best friend when it comes to networking and just talking to other people. There are so many flight attendants that are Crashpad landlords, so they understand everything about your schedule and everything. So Facebook is my top place that I go for pretty much everything. I went there for forums when I first started looking to be a flight attendant, just for that support, what to do, what to expect, is this normal? So when it comes to crash pads, I do the same thing. If you're LaGuardia or JFK based, you can definitely use that Facebook page. Once again, it was called Crew Gardens, space NY. Thank you, Janine. Janine Perez was the one who referred me to that. Very grateful for her. because of her, I found my crash pad the very first try, which is just like amazing to me because I've had nightmares dreaming about my crash pad. So thank you, Janine. Yeah, just go on Facebook, and also in your crew room or your base when you go for base orientation, or if you're able to just take a day to go and visit while you're in training, if you know you want to look at a crash pad, then yeah, just ask, because there was a lot of stuff posted in my crew room as far as just like resources. A lot of airlines are very understanding when it comes to you commuting. They know that, yeah, they expect you to move right off the back, but let's be realistic. Who picks up and moves like right off the back? Like, I wasn't going to. I will tell you I'm going to move, but what I'm really telling you is I will make it my job to make sure I report whenever you need me to on time. Now, as far as living there, might not be the case, but I will never be late. Never. So, yes, use Facebook, guys. Use your resources. My budget was $400, and that's high. That's really high actually compared to other places, and I think that's just because I got based in LaGuardia. New York is very expensive. So $400 was my budget. It was my max. It was my tip top, and that's what I actually got my crash pad for. So I just feel like it was meant to be. Everything that I wanted was in my crash pad. It's one room, and it has 2 sets of bunk beds, so 4 beds, which is perfect to me because I've seen crash pads with like 8, and that's like too much for me. And it's like the sets are against the wall, and then it has this whole open area, and it has a big window here, so it's all this natural lighting, which I love. And our bathroom is like just 2 steps out of the room, and there's 2 rooms. In the other room, it's the same thing, except the bunk beds are against this side, and then this side is just all the empty space, and then they have a bathroom within their room. I chose the one with the natural lighting just because I like natural lighting. I'm from Florida, so I'm used to the sun, I guess. But the other room was just like way too dark for me. It was really weird. I guess it was just because of the position of the apartment. But yeah, it's really nice. Everything's updated. They have new furniture, new mattresses, everything. The kitchen's updated, the living room's updated, everything's updated. Everybody's nice. So I was satisfied. I was completely satisfied. I'm just so happy with how it went. My landlord's super helpful. She referred me to this app. If you guys are New York based, use City Mapper. Let me see if I can actually show you guys. It is such a great app. It just, everything that I need. So if you guys can see it, it's this green one. It's probably not gonna focus. Okay. Oh, it's not gonna focus. Well, anyways, this is how it is. And all you would do is tap like get me somewhere, and it tells you like which bus to take, and even when you get on the bus it tells you like the stop. So let me show you guys. Let me see. So I went to Times Square today, so when I got on the bus it like tells me all the stops that the bus will do in order to get to my final destination, and your location, it'll be a little blue bubble that tells you where you are for each stop. Because as a new person in New York, I had no idea where we were, and the bus doesn't tell you where it's stopping. So this app, it's called City Mapper. My landlord like suggested this to me, and I'm very grateful for her, and she showed me around and everything. So yes, you guys, don't be afraid of waiting until after you graduate to get your crash pad, because you never know what's gonna happen. I would have the utmost faith in I have the utmost faith in you guys in passing training. But anything can happen. You could have a family emergency. Anything can happen. So I suggest waiting until the end of training. Some people don't have that luxury of waiting. I unfortunately did. Even though I'm a huge stickler for planning, I'm really good at going with the flow. So I wasn't worried about finding a crash pad, and everything just fell into place. So definitely use social media as your resource in order to find crash pads. I don't suggest Craigslist. Some people have actually had luck with that, but you know, I wouldn't do it. Craigslist scares me. So yeah, you guys, I'm super excited. Hopefully I get a trip. This is my 3rd day on reserve and nothing, squat. So that's crew scheduling. Hold on. Hello?
Hello, Flight Attendant for Grace. This is for crew scheduling. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, very good. Just so you know, you're being released right now, so you can do your rep 1 tomorrow, okay?
You said I'm doing rep 1 tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It said I was doing rep 2, so it changed?
Yeah, it changed, so you're rep 1 for tomorrow, and you're being released now.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
No problem. All right.
Alrighty, bye-bye. How insane was that? I really thought I got a trip, you guys. I was gonna say, you guys are my lucky charms, but just got released. I'm happy I got rep 1 though, so that means I could possibly make it home on time. So I'm off the 17th, 18th, and 19th, so okay. Woo. All right, so I forgot what I was saying. Bleh. That really just threw me off. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, yes, you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'm trying to be more active on my Twitter. You guys have to bear with me though. You guys haven't really been following me on it, and I don't blame you because I don't know. I'm not really a tweeter. So my name is @travelingwtee. Yeah. So this is how it looks. That is my Twitter. So you guys can follow me on that. I'm not gonna add it to like my closing out thing. So yes. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I will get to you guys as soon as possible. So yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. Hopefully the next time we talk, I have a trip, not just sitting here. Yes, so hopefully pray for me, guys.